I was actually asked to come up with an innovative solution, something that nobody has heard before, and that will be the answer. So no pressure there. I actually did spend a lot of time thinking what that solution could be. I had 4 different versions of my talk, but I had to throw them all away because no matter what I came up with, it still didn't address the main issue. Don't get me wrong. I love innovation, and in fact, for over a decade now, I've been working with many startups, most of them my students, starting at Imperial College London, London College of Fashion, and now at the University of Oxford. The innovative ideas that my students develop include biodegradable clothing, an app that rates companies on how ethical and sustainable they are, and an alternative leather product. I also consult young fashion brands that have all the right intentions to create sustainable and innovative brands. These are incredible efforts, and they do give me hope for our industry. But there is an elephant in the room, and that is our addiction to overconsumption and overproduction. Until we solve this problem, fashion will never, ever be sustainable. It's all a myth. So tonight, I want to start by addressing that elephant and to come up with actionable ideas that we could try to solve it. First, we need effective regulation. When the fashion industry was first created, collections were made only twice a year. They were made very slowly, with respect to the environment, respect to the materials, and the craft. The very act of making a product was all about community and respecting the tradition. As time went on, the industry today rewards production, consumption, and marketing. So in order to address this, we need effective regulation. There is no one-shot regulatory solution for the fashion industry, but extended producer responsibility legislation could at least begin to hold producers accountable for the incredible amount of product that ends up in landfills, often, as we know, in poorer countries, or being incinerated. For example, France, my now adopted country, is demonstrating what could become the solution. So in France, any company that sells textile, linen, or footwear, they cannot just discard them. So they either have to implement a take-back regulation, or they have to pay an NGO called Refashion to collect, sort, and recycle their products at the end of the life. The policy has been a real game changer for textile waste in France, and now we see many more companies adopting the same exactly regulation. Actually, regulating waste can also help in another way. It could limit how many collections are produced per year. In fact, fashion designers lose money when they overproduce as well. They don't make profits, especially young fashion brands. There are examples in other industries that could serve as models. For example, as we know, California will require all cars to be sold from 2030 to be electric. France, as we heard, just banned short-haul flights. So it always sounds impossible until it's done. But for regulation to be effective, it needs to be smart, which is why the industry should embrace dialogue with governments and lead on efforts to improve transparency within supply chains. Second solution, and also they are current technology and social media. They are part of the problem, but they need to be part of the solution as well. The truth is, as we know, not every fashion item is this must-have. But social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram, they've thrived in showing influencers changing in and out of outfits, all selling us a false dream. Kim Kardashian was fined for not disclosing that the post was in fact an ad. More of this needs to happen, not just on influencers though, on platforms themselves, particularly around targeting young women and children. There are, of course, younger generation brands that are highly inspirational, not just in fashion, also in beauty. They are starting to talk very openly about conscious consumption, recycling, and how we can make eco-friendly choices. Technology can also be harnessed to do great things in fashion. I visualize and I see a 2030 shopping experience that includes 3D fitting rooms that will allow you to virtually see your clothes before you buy them. Purchases that are made to order, which will reduce inventories and waste, and digital IDs to track the full life cycle of any product purchase. Right now, we have no idea how many products are out there. Third and finally, we need to focus on marketing and psychology. I remember looking at a fashion magazine when I was 13 years old and thinking, this is it. If I only look like the model on the cover, I will be perfect, life will be perfect. And I have to admit to you, I did chase that ideal for many years, no matter how unrealistic it was. The truth is, the fashion industry is built on a system that makes you think the happiness or whatever high you are seeking is in the next watch, the next dress, or the next bag. From models to fashion magazines, hairstylists, makeup artists, it's a system. It's all designed to make you desire that product. But think about this. What if we made sustainability desirable? My message here is to the industry and the marketing behind it. We need to have conscious marketing. Influencers are made to disclose if they are being paid. Beauty ads have to say if something is digitally altered. Just as we see on pack of cigarettes that it is bad for your health, certain fashion brands, like Patagonia, for example, they are now including warnings about the negative environmental impact of buying their products. We need more of this. Whether it comes through corporate leadership or is another part of the regulatory picture. I want to now end my talk on a different and personal note. This is my grandfather. He was born in 1923 at a time of great change. The Ottoman Empire just ended and the new Turkish Republic was being created. He lived in poverty in Bulgaria and he was orphaned at a very, very young age. He had a very difficult life. But one of the most important lessons he taught me was about the importance of self-reliance. Kendi yağında kavrul, he would say to me in Turkish, which means fry in your own oil. I want to bring this message to our industry today and say to both consumers and brands, we really need to get off this vicious cycle of overconsumption, overproduction, and even overborrowing. It really is time to be self-sufficient, self-sustaining, and reimagine a new world where we only produce and consume what we really need and take only what nature can replace. Thank you.